All aboard the hype train, let's go. Hey, what is up guys, MKBHD here, and welcome to Top 5 Tech to Look Forward to in 2016. No one's probably gonna watch this video in 2017, but it doesn't matter, let's get into it. So number one is the Samsung Galaxy S7. And this is a smartphone we're gonna see pretty soon. It's gonna be announced on February 21st, it's right around the corner. And this is probably gonna be a bunch of classic high-end Samsung Android smartphone stuff. So we'll probably see Snapdragon 820, we'll probably have at least 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it's rumored to be using the 25 megapixel IMX300 sensor that's currently in Sony's Xperia Z5 Premium, so a high-end camera. And the design is likely to be pretty similar to the Galaxy S6 and Galaxy S6 Edge. But Samsung does like to go a little bit crazy, at least somewhere down the line. So we can probably expect to see at least one oddball new feature in the Galaxy S7. Now, whether this is something as simple as a USB Type-C port, or bringing back a micro SD card slot, or something more drastic like a 4K display, or maybe a pressure-sensitive display like we have with Force Touch in the iPhone, either way, the Galaxy S7 is about to be everywhere quick. Number two is the iPhone 7. There are many possible rumors about the next iPhone besides the lack of a headphone jack, but the most important thing is that it's a new design change. iPhone 6 is a new design, iPhone 6S is improved inside, iPhone 7 is a new design again. And we've heard rumors of things like a cleaned up design, removed antenna lines, maybe removing the camera bump, and also a lack of a headphone jack and DAC inside could mean we could see little things like a little bit of a bigger speaker or a little bit of a bigger battery. Other little design changes could include tossing in a little bit of extra water resistance on the inside, or maybe throwing in wireless charging. But all of this is wishful thinking, and it's reasonable to expect. But if you want to think outside the box a little bit, you could consider rethinking the entire idea of the home button on the iPhone. We know this is where Touch ID lives, but Force Touch has opened up a lot of doors for what Apple can do with their next flagship. Also, as a bonus, we could also see a smaller iPhone earlier this year, iPhone 5 SE, a new lower price 4-inch iPhone with updated specs and design, kind of like a refresh of that iPhone 5C. Number three is the next Nexus, possibly also known as the Nexus 7. Again, at this point in the year, we know almost nothing about the next Nexus, what it'll look like, what it'll be called, who will make it. But what we do know is Nexus 6P was one of the best Android phones of 2015, and that Nexus 5X was a decent revival of Nexus 5, and it was a pretty good budget stock Android option. The next Nexus, whether it's a Nexus 7 or a Nexus 6P2 or whatever they decide to call it, will inevitably be a showcase of a clean version of Android N. So it's always a showcase for the next version of Android. We should see this showing up around Q3, so like September, October in this year. And it's kind of like a 2-for-1. We're getting new hardware with 1 or maybe 2 new Nexus phones, and then new software with Android N. Number 4 is 4K OLED. So my last few years of looking at TVs could be summarized like this. Plenty of crispy 4K, none of them OLED. Plenty of beautiful OLED TVs, none of them 4K. But this year we're gonna start to see a bunch more 4K OLED TVs. First of all, if you've seen any of the OLED 1080p TVs, they already look pretty awesome, but I got a chance to look at LG's 4K OLED TV, and it's easily the best looking TV I've ever seen. So I'm excited to see more of those come out this year. I also heard murmurings of a certain Dell 30-inch 4K monitor. Have yet to see that in person, but I would love to take a look at it, Dell. And number 5, this one's a little bit different, Tesla's Model 3. So the Model S, we already know is an awesome car, but it starts at, what, about $70,000? And then the Tesla Model X, the SUV, is also pretty awesome, came out recently, but it also starts at maybe $80,000. So Tesla Model 3, which is supposed to come out, or at least be showcased for the first time this year, is supposed to start at $35,000. So for a high-end electric car, that's pretty important, and being able to get the price down low is big for Tesla and for electric cars in general. And part of the reason they're able to do this is because of the new factory they're building, the Gigafactory, which will allow them to produce a bunch of parts, including batteries, at an efficiency and a scale that they haven't been able to do before. That being said, all we're really getting this year is the official design and spec reveal of the car. So we'll get to see what it looks like finally. We'll finally get to see the official numbers, the price, the acceleration, all those types of numbers, but we won't actually get to buy that car until probably 2017. Either way, I'm still pretty excited to see it, mostly because this is a pretty important product, like I said, for Tesla, and it's seen as sort of like an end game. One of the biggest goals for Tesla as a company was to bring electric cars to the masses in an affordable way. Model S being the showcase to get everyone's attention, get it on the radar, and then Model 3 being the one that people can actually get. So there you have it, guys. That's what I'm looking forward to in tech in 2016. I'll give some honorable mentions. One to the iPad Air 4, or whatever the next gen iPad Air is. As we've heard, it may be a 4K display, which would be kind of neat considering most tablets have run up against that barrier in the past couple years. And Galaxy Note 6, because it will inevitably be a little bit better than the Galaxy S7. Also, shout out to the desk setup behind me. If you're wondering where I am right now, you should watch the video linked right there and see exactly what this is all about. Also some dope tech in that video. So what kind of tech are you guys looking forward to most this year? Same stuff? Different stuff? Feel free to let me know in the comment section right below that like button, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.